ladies and gentlemen, your hosts, Lorelei and Space Deviant.
It's a rare thing in Hollywood to see a reboot that outshines the original.
But that's exactly what happened with 1995's Judge Dredd when compared to the 2012 masterpiece Dredd. Superior in both tone, story structure, and also succeeds in having one of the very best and most believable female villains of all time.
1995 Judge Dredd was all over the place. It didn't know what kind of movie it wanted to be. A buddy cop comedy,
Cringe parody.
futuristic sci-fi epic.
Compare that to 2012's Dredd. Unapologetically serious and respectful with the original source material. It gave us a grimy, fully realized, utterly dystopian world.
More importantly, it trusted the audience to be smart enough to follow the story without spoon feeding.
Oh, the plot of the 90s Judge Dredd was convoluted mishmash, written by committee, filled with unnecessary subplots and laughable dialogue. But 2012's Dredd takes place in one location, the Peachtree Mega Block, a 200-story apartment complex ruled by ruthless Mama, drug lord extraordinaire. The story's straightforward. Trap, Dredd, and his rookie partner, Anderson, have to fight their way to freedom through Mama's seemingly endless parade of henchmen.
Tight, absolutely watchable.
The worst part of the 90s version was the helmet. In comic canon, Dredd's helmet is symbolic. It represents his commitment to justice and his lack of personal identity.
It's not about him as man. The helmet is the law.
Oh, Urban's Dredd never takes off the helmet. And it's understood he played Dredd as a symbol, and by keeping the helmet on, he cemented that air of authority that Stallone simply couldn't.
As epic as Carl Urban's Dredd is, Lena Headley's portrayal of Mama might be the best thing about the movie.
Fire!
Better even than her work Game of Thrones.
Oh, well, to me, she's far scarier as this futuristical, tyrannical Delilah Fitzgerald from The Unforgiven than she was as the scheming queen of suspiciously pale flowers in the attic.
Mama is undeniably evil and ruthlessly violent.
And still distinctly feminine. She doesn't rely on brute strength and would never lower herself to a one-on-one scuffle with a man. No, she's not barking orders or posturing like a cartoon villain. She controls the complex with cold calculation.
Sober or not, she stays eerily composed. She understands her greatest weapon is the psychology of fear and control.
Her scars tell a story, but they don't make her masculine. Mama's a woman through and through, and the story doesn't shy away from the ugly parts.
Quit working when she got sliced up by a pimp. She got her own back. Block allegedly says she feminized the guy with her teeth. Took over his business interests and never looked back.
We never doubt that she belongs at the head of the Peachtree Mega Block crime syndicate.
Dredd 2012 is what any great comic book adaptation should be. Film that honors the source material, understands and respects the audience, delivering what can be appreciated without ever opening a comic.
It's a rare example of Hollywood getting it right. If only all reboots were half as good.
If only. The problem with the old one, they were trying to push the comedy aspect of it just so hard that
Let me crush him, Paul!
they missed the actual writing, real storytelling. They wanted to have, what was the guy's name? The what's that comedian? Gosh, he was like kind of his helper, sidekick guy.
Oh, yes.
They wanted to push him in it.
Rob
Rob
Schneider.
Schneider. They want to
Yeah.
have Rob Schneider's comedy in there. I mean, they could have made so many. They could have made series, sequels. Like, I don't. It's really a missed opportunity there.
Well, it was right. It was right at that clutch as things were starting to go crazy. Because we can kind of mark it like 2016 was the point where Hollywood lost its mind. But I think it started, I mean, because we were starting to get some of that girl boss garbage even back then, if you start to look early enough. And, well, I mean, if you start to look early enough,
Even
you
in
get
the early
Starbuck,
2000s,
yeah,
Starbuck and yeah.
Stardough, but even still, it's like Hollywood was purposefully pushing the masculinized female lead. It feels like this movie just slid in there before that cutoff. But you're right. Why couldn't we have got an HBO series out of this? 6 seasons. Just
Missed opportunity.
Then we could have then we could have explored his childhood, his background, which we didn't need to do for the movie. The movie works perfectly fine, me not really knowing much about him.
It's one of those things where if you knew, you knew, and it doesn't change the story either way. You know what I mean? Should tell a great story.
That's the perfect comic book adaptation. Whereas me coming in with zero knowledge can sit down and just.
But even he has his growth. Even he has a little bit of his own personal growth in there, because when he starts to see what her size stuff actually works, and he's like, oh, this is,
he adapted.
Yeah. So he adapted, and that's why at the end he's like, oh, okay, yeah.
Well, he cut her slack at the end, but he did respect her. That's why he cut her slack. If he hadn't have respected her, if he didn't think, I think if he did not think she would be a good addition to the law, the force or whatever, he would have bounced her. Even
totally opportunity they missed there. They could have probably milked 2 more movies out of that if they'd had good writing.
It would have been better explored in a series. An expensive, what HBO used to be before it lost its way and decided to be Max or whatever. Where they really got down, and you could have gritty stuff, and you could have writers that took their storylines, their specific storylines, and they knew where they were going, and you had the comic books as a guide. You could have just followed these plots all the way out. Could have been so good.
And especially with every building being its own little ecosystem, I mean, they could have had so much writing material to work with, even beyond just the comic books. They could have.
Like, I want to see the rich towers. I want to see the middle class towers. I want to see, is there any countryside anywhere?
Yeah.
How far do you have to go? What do those people live like?
It's almost like Star Trek, the original you're like, oh, new world, new place. Everything's completely different setting. You've got completely different storyline you can write. You've got so much to work with.
And you'd have, like you said, it would be a perfect, slightly fascist Star Trek, but with the law. Yeah.
But at the same time, you could also show the cracks in the system, and there would be a lot of stuff you could do.
If we did not have a subplot by season 2 where he was trying to oust some corrupt judges, it'd be lost the way. Oh,
judges, or the mayor, or somebody's at the center of the crime syndicates.
There's
you
no
find
reason
out
that can't be that. Carl Urban still looks fantastic. There's still absolutely no reason this couldn't come to light. Especially now things are starting to swing back to where we might be allowed to have masculine heroes and superheroes again, maybe, like, a little bit. Oh.
13 years later, it's not too late.
I mean, it's too late for Anderson, probably, but for her being like a fresh-faced youth in that journey, but if the actress is still working, there's probably something. Like, you could backlog her, and it could be one of those surprise plots, but you'd still have to.
I guess they just need some writers. That seems to be the biggest problem I'm seeing.
No, The
right
biggest
now.
problem is
Or good writing.
when writers are controlled by
Mm. The-
what
He-
how can you say it with
He
this?
which shall not be
Starts
named.
with a like Papa, India, Foxtrot, Piffs. Pfft.
You just say
Oops.
pushing society towards who knows what.
Oh, I certainly suspect. I've got a very clear suspicion of what they're pushing society towards. And I'm certainly against it. But that's the problem. It's getting the money to write and produce and create the content that people actually want to watch. Well, can we get into it? We can not get... Okay, well, let me just compliment Lena Headey, portrayal of Mama, and how much I enjoyed the rarity of a scary female villain that wasn't hypermasculinized. Because even towards the end of Game of Thrones, when they made her like a drunk degen with a girlfriend, they were very much trying to like make her the king and masculinize her towards those last few seasons. So in Mama, because she had been a woman of the night whose face had been damaged, and her whole plot was, oh, you're not allowed to give people a refrigerator background or anything anymore, but that was the perfect... Do you know how easy that is to have a highly intelligent, drug addict, semi-psychotic woman who's now had her whole means of income ruined, and she's going to take it out on everybody all the way up until she's on top?
Psychotic sociopath. Yeah. It's totally understandable, totally believable.
But she never chokeslams a 230-pound operator.
10 guys at the same time and throws them across the room
Not once.
with
I
her
didn't.
with her 120-pound mass. Yeah.
Oh, my mercy. These are a few of my most hated things. But yes, she was perfectly, even as she's drug-addled, even as she's using, even as she's making these decisions to send people to their death, because Dredd has become like a meat grinder of her guys. And she still walks that beautiful line between power, criminality, but never descends into any kind of masculine aping. It was, again, at the time, I didn't realize how good it was until looking back on it.
Yeah.
Over a decade.
Hindsight.
To be like, oh, wow, female villains that were scary. Woo,
See, I
and
never
believable.
saw it when it first came out. I didn't see it
Oh.
until, gosh, somehow I missed it, and I didn't see it until 2000 something. But then after seeing it, I was like, damn, this is a good movie. I wasn't expecting that.
Well, I kind of had loved the Cheese Whiz one as a kid, like as bad as it is. But
It
it's
has
a lot of fun. It's camp.
Yeah.
It's camp. And, and it's Carl Urban. So, that was enough to get my $8 at that point in time and get me in for an afternoon matinee or whatever. And brilliant. I loved how much I didn't need to know. I think with modern movies, these ridiculous, unnecessary plot drops, let me do a thing, and then let me tell you what I'm doing while I'm doing it, and then do something unnecessary, and then another guy's going to come in and have a conversation about it just in case you're on your phone.
Well, at this point, it's largely become written by a automated system that, and it just repeats the same plots over and over again. And these people who read and go through the scripts, they apparently don't know how to weed through that repetitive.
If it's AI, it's dystopian. If it's bad writing, or if it's writing that's being managed, that's also dystopian, that's what I think it is. I think it's a matter of, I have a story I want to tell. It goes upstairs, and then a bunch of people with certificates and letters who paid for college degrees gets to tell you that you need to add this, that, and the other.
They go, hold on, let me talk to the guy. The guy says we need to cut all this stuff out.
Or no, we need to add in XYZ theory. And actually this one, they need, like, I know you had a pet ferret, but it really needs to be a Labradoodle because that tests better. No, Beastmaster had a ferret, dude. You can't switch Beastmaster's ferret for a Labradoodle. Okay?
And for some reason, they start eating pizza. I don't get it. Some kind of random reference they throw in there. Like, what? Those people
are ruining movies. But the only hopes is smaller studios that are starting to break off and make the kind of movies that people do want to see. So that is what I'm hoping is in theory.
Positive, thinking about the future.
Wouldn't that be great?
Yeah.
And, I love Stallone. Okay. Like from Rocky down to, like the, what is it? The Tulsa King one now. Like, love it. But part of it was he didn't want to wear the helmet. Like, he wanted his face out.
Yep.
He wanted that square jaw of his, like, to be the draw. And it's just, if your character is supposed to have the helmet on at all times, leave the helmet on.
America, built to last.
That's right.
No, that's right. They be flying that flag all night.
Red, white, and blue.
Thank you for joining us today. We really do appreciate your time. I'm Lorelei, and this is
Space Deviant.
And together we are Southern Fried Cinema Siblings. And remember, the most important story is the story you tell yourself, so
make it a good one.
Mm-hmm.
Oh. You're still here, are you? Well, why don't you make yourself useful? Click the share button. Click the subscribe button. May as well go ahead and click for the next episode, too.